People who choose to be kind every day despite of not receiving the same kindness back. What motivates you? Because I could be the other person. Today you, tomorrow me. I adore this story. Sort of in the same energy. Wherever people make a big deal out of help, I always say, well, I trust you'd do the same for me. I had someone reply with, no I wouldn't. I'm a dick, and just said, well, maybe this was meant to let you reevaluate that. I kinda wonder if they did. We didn't know each other very well. I once bought a gift card and a jug of water and some fruit for a person panhandling outside of a grocery store. It really wasn't a huge deal, but the dude who was parked right next to the guy and ignoring him the whole time said that was really nice of you. I just responded that the guy was a part of our community and everyone needs compassion. Life is hard. I remember when I was a child and my mom and brother and I only ate dinner because of a kind stranger who showed us that same compassion. I only hope I helped the man eat a yummy dinner and gave him the same feeling of value that stranger gave me so many years ago. It reminds me of the story about someone helping out a random person asking for money and being told, you know, it's a scam. He's going to use it on drugs. Their response was, well, that speaks to their character. This speaks to mine. Paraphrasing, but I think about that a lot. I try not to reproduce behavior right on _ like in other people. Makes me like myself more. Yup. Do it for yourself. When you live consistent to your values and principles, it builds your self-confidence, esteem, and just generally you walk lighter. That's more than enough reason. If the only reason you're kind to people is to get something back, you will always only ever be disappointed. Do it for yourself. Exactly. Part of it is that I do it for myself. I feel good when I do good. The other part is that it's the right thing to do. It's so incredibly easy to do, even if it isn't genuine. Don't give a shit about reading every single person you interact with. Just have a positive outlook and bright, welcoming attitude. Happy people, even strangers, give it back twofold usually. People that are only looking to be a dick / argumentative / combative get even more annoyed when you talk to them like life is great. So win-win. I find it difficult to do when someone's very opinionated. They don't even have to be assholes about it. But if they passingly mention abusing their kids, being anti-vax, openly sexist, or overly patronizing / assuming I'm stupid, I get upset and just want to end the conversation. Often being kind to these types of people just encourages them to continue yapping because they assume you agree. Now, I'm not saying I confront people or think it's okay to be combative and rude, but I don't think I'm able to keep that cheerful everything's great attitude and be welcoming. I'm kind because I'm kind, not because other people are. Yup, this one for me. I just literally don't have it in me to be mean or rude. It's not who I am. That said, I have gone on a few rants at people who have treated me badly, alone. In my car, I was trying to rack my brain for a good answer until I saw this comment and I couldn't agree more. I was raised to be kind, and I continue it on my own accord because I want to, not because I'm going to get something in return. It's my nightmare have intentionally or unintentionally caused someone to have a worse day, so I make sure that I'm courteous and friendly to everyone. And yes, on Reddit too. Even new knuckleheads who get sassy and mod mail lol. TBH for me, it takes a lot of effort to be an ass. No, like it's so tiring to be a dick. Like I'll get angry at something for a moment, and before I know what's happening the wind has already left my sails and I can't be fucked anymore. Because I know how it feels when you're down, and your day / week / month / year just fucking sucks. And if there's a chance I can make just one person who feels like that have a better day and feel good for a bit, then it's worth it. Edit. So I've never actually seen a full episode of Friends and had no idea I was close to the theme song. Took me a bit to figure out why so many people were saying I'll be there for you lol, but thanks for making me aware of that. Exactly. Me too. Something so simple and effortless as telling someone their shirt looks cool can honestly make a world of difference in someone's day, so why not do it? I remember this one girl saying my shirt was awesome, a BBC Sherlock geek shirt, just in passing in the street. This was over 15 years ago. We really should strive to be nicer to everyone. Yeah, I'm still riding high on a compliment an attractive girl gave me. She said that color of blue looked good on me. I took it so weirdly. I haven't gotten a compliment in 10 years and I freaked out. I was like, no way. You mean it? Oh geez, THXIDK, what to say. That was a few years ago and I'm still feeling good about it. And now, all of your clothes are blue. I'm not especially strong or educated. I'm not particularly well off, and I know I can get carried away and come off as annoying sometimes. So if I can't be strong or smart, socially adept or successful, I can definitely be kind. When I was young, I used to admire intelligent people. As I grow older, I /Zazero admire /Zazero kind /Zazero people. Abraham Joshua Heschel. I slowly come to view the kind people as the actual intelligent ones, as kindness begets homeostasis amongst us all. Took a while for my POV to swing that way, but I see it now. I don't expect people to be kind back. I do it because it's the right thing, not because I'm hoping for any return. People doing nice things because they expect something in return aren't actually good people. Exactly. Kindness should be shown because it's the right thing to do. There's already enough hatred in the world. Why add more? Right? It might be because of the stories we are told as a kid, where every kindness is paid back, which leads people to have unrealistic expectations. In reality, there is no way to prove this belief, and the only sure reward is knowing you aren't adding to the cruelty in their lives, and are making it easier for someone to get through this shithole of a world. Might seem like stupid and naive in the beginning, but knowing that you made someone else happy is probably the best kind of happiness. I think a lot of it boils down to how you are raised. My dad came from an extremely loving family and my mum didn't. My dad will do anything for anyone and doesn't expect something in return, and is always pleasantly surprised when they reciprocate, because that's how he was raised. My mum made the conscious decision that she would never be like her family and is right there with my dad. They are both so supportive of me and my brother, and by extension all of our friends, because they see anyone who is part of their life a family. Lost count of the amount of times growing up we had friends stay with us because they had fallen out with their own parents. I try to do the same and raise my girls the same. I'm like your mom. I remember the exact moment at 15 that I decided I wasn't going to be like my parents. They had a room repainted and said it looked patchy when the first coat hadn't even dried. Instead of waiting until the job was done or listening, they went full arsehole on this poor guy, including threatening his pay. They were recently wealthy. They didn't need to do any of that to him. So I decided fuck them. Fuck their money and the inheritance they like to dangle over my head. Not if it meant making someone's eyes lose their spark, like they did to the painter. 2 years later they kicked me out for some complicated reason. I was homeless for a year, then built myself from the ground up without them. I've never regretted it. Sounds similar. My mum's folks were now very rich and were complete a-holes. My mum married my dad against their wishes, cause he was from mere farming stock, and has since refused anything money related from them as my mum knew they would hold it against her. My folks are comfortable. They live by the beach and would rather spend their time walking holding hands whilst the dog and grandkids splash in the sea than jet setting abroad. Good on you for escaping and making your life your own. X. I try to embody this mindset so much. Being a dwarf, I get a lot of shit from people shouting on the street, pointing, people filming me and taking photos of me, asking me invasive questions, generally making rude statements about me or expressing weird assumptions. It gets tiring and sometimes downright upsetting. For sure. But I never want to let that feed into how I interact with people in general. As soon as I'm a dick to someone preemptively, without cause, I have just ruined an opportunity to have a positive new connection in my life. People can and will often surprise you. And even people who may seem ignorant or rude at first can change dramatically if I don't just shut them down from the offset. There is a line. Of course, if someone is a complete unapologetic ass, fuck them. I'm not against standing up for myself, and I have had to cut ties with people before. But in milder situations, people have the capacity to change, and it's kind of wasted potential to not encourage that, whether it is through empathy or kindness. I used to let all of this get to me, I would be so angry and miserable. Every day. I hated everyone. But eventually, I realized that empathizing with people is a win for both parties. Understanding where a person is coming from, not excusing it, but understanding it, made me less angry, and in turn allowed for them to not get defensive or aggressive, like they would if they were just pegged as a monster. Eventually, empathy just became easier. It made me happier, and it took less of a toll on my mindset. Sorry if this is a stupid question, but did Peter Dinklage becoming a favorite character in Game of Thrones make things better or worse? It seemed like the first time that a dwarf actor had top billing in a prestige TV. Again, sorry if that's a stupid question. Overall, definitely better. I got sick of the Tyrion references 8 years ago. But that's really the only negative, and the references are still so much better than the Oompa Loompa and Mini-Me references. I think the best part is how much it normalized us being sexual beings in a non-perverted, fetishized way. We are just people. I think the best part is how much it normalized us being sexual beings in a non-perverted, fetishized way. We are just people. The last time I saw you on Reddit I said the same thing, but damn, I really never thought about this. I guess it goes to show how helpful positive representation in media can be. It just never hurts to be nice. You don't know what people go through, or how long it's been since someone said something, or did nice for someone. So I do my part to reset the clock on that. I remember holding the door for a guy one time when he was like 20 feet behind me, and he was so appreciative that someone did something for him that sounded like he was about to tear up. You just never know. So why not be a good person? I actually just quit my job yesterday because I realized that my managers were being intentionally rude and hurtful towards me, and the higher ups didn't care. One of the days I was just having a hard day, and when my manager came down on me intentionally harder than was necessary, I had a major panic attack. Later that afternoon he admitted he wrote and reread the mean message, but decided to hit send anyway because he knew I wouldn't like it. I just realized in that moment I couldn't be in a place that condoned that kind of behavior from employees. Said managers then begged me to stay after I put in my notice, of course. Later that evening I went to the grocery store and saw the same meat counter lady who is always there. She's always so polite and friendly, so because I was having a bad day I asked her, how are you always just so gracious and friendly? I have never seen you otherwise, and I love that I can always expect to see you here with a smile on. She instantly started to tear up and told me what I said meant so much because she was having an absolutely horrible day. I just thought again how much words can matter and felt even more justified leaving my job. You never know what a person is going through, and your attitude and words can make or break someone's day. So why not just be kind? My go-to response to people who are rude to me is, you seem like you're having a bad day. I hope being rude to me made you feel better about yourself. Usually shuts people down pretty quickly. You sound like a lovely person. I'm so glad you got out of that job. That took real courage. That kind clap back, kind back, is also perfect. Thank you so much, and yes, I feel like a huge weight has lifted from my shoulders. I woke up this morning for once without knots in my stomach worrying about work. I just think you shouldn't make anyone else's life harder than it already is. Edit. I've been on Reddit 9 years and I've never had this much of a reaction to one of my comments. Thanks, y'all. To clarify, I'm not a saint. There are exceptions, and my kindness does have limits. However, I usually try very hard to be nice to people because life sucks sometimes. When another person makes you suffer, it is because he suffers deeply within himself, and his suffering is spilling over. He does not need punishment, he needs help. That's the message he is sending. Thich Nhat Hanh. This monk has changed my mindset so much over the years, especially his take on death. His metaphor is a cloud. Same here. Close street thing to a true living legend we have today. Got the opportunity by chance to join him in walking meditation. He was in a wheelchair a couple years ago, and I was moved to tears. That man has helped me so much over the years. Any suggestions on works of his to have a crack at? Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind. Always, Robin Williams. Being unkind makes me feel very guilty immediately lol. Even if they deserved it. I just feel kind of angry or upset after. Never better. Totally. Actually yeah. This. I can be horrible. Like I have potential to make a person feel like absolute shit. But if I do, I hurt myself too. Don't know if that's selfish. But there we are. Being virtuous at its core is about doing good because it makes you feel good. Keep your head up, man. Anger. The world is often shitty and people are often selfish. So I'm relentlessly positive and friendly even when others abuse it. I'm not letting shitty people gaslight me into being like them. Fuck you world, I'ma be nice anyway, love that energy. Kill them with kindness. My personal motto is, kill them with kindness. Because I'll go to jail if I kill them with anything else. Apostrophe. Anxiety makes me think everyone already hates me, so I try to be liked by people. In my experience that's a vicious circle. I'm trying to get to the point where it doesn't matter if people like me or not. You make yourself anxious worrying what people think about you all the time. Mid-30s. Just starting to realize this in myself. It's tough. But I'm starting to shed the anxiety, and it feels good. Taking some time though.